Ripley Ryan, aka Star, is one of the newest characters to debut in Marvel's panels. Who is this new hero who resembles Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel? Is she a hero or is she a villain? And is she here to stay? Well, today on Top 10 Nerd, we're going to try to answer those questions by taking a closer look at this new individual with our list of top 10 shocking Star facts that you need to know. But really aren't that shocking, but definitely facts that you need to know. And spoiler alert, friends, for Star Issue 1 and the most recent run on Captain Marvel series, Volume 10. So with that in mind, let's get to our list. In at number 10, her first appearance. Let's start off with the most straightforward facts. Ripley Ryan first appeared in Captain Marvel, Volume 10, Issue 1 in March of 2019, so she is a very recent character to debut in Marvel's panels. She would not appear as her superhero persona Star until several months later, in September of that same year in Issue 8. She's the product of creatives Kelly Thompson and Carmen Canero, who are spearheading the latest volume of Captain Marvel stories. Moving on to number 9, she worked for Tony Stark. Okay, so who exactly is Ripley Ryan? The character, who lives in New York City, was initially hired by Tony Stark to interview Captain Marvel Carol Danvers when she wanted to rejoin the Avengers team. Now for context, Carol has had a bit of a rough recent history in the Marvel Universe. Her half-Kree physiology was leaked to the public and she was forced to go on a sabbatical. Now wanting to rebuild trust with the public, Tony brought in a reporter to help change public perception. That reporter is Ryan. Ryan requested to follow Carol around for a few days in order to shape her article into a more of a day in the life of Captain Marvel piece. Carol wasn't really feeling it. She felt it was pretty dangerous. And you know what? She was right, because in at number 8, Ripley was kidnapped. Shortly after Ripley met up with Carol, Carol was attacked by the villain Nuclear Man, who interrupted their conversation. After the Avengers showed up to aid Carol in battle, Nuclear Man managed to trick them into thinking he was down. Then he opened up a portal and kidnapped Ripley. Captain Marvel was able to follow, with Carol working with several other female superheroes to eventually defeat Nuclear Man and rescue Ripley. But the event definitely had a traumatic impact on Ripley. Moving on to number 7, her powers. It was later revealed that Ripley was an experiment of Kree scientist Minerva. It was a cruel experiment to create a Kree-human hybrid super soldier in Carol's image. Now it's worth noting that Minerva was also the one who leaked Carol's Kree physiology secret to the public. Essentially what had happened was her powers originally came from siphoning energy from Captain Marvel. Context time. During the series, Ripley finds out that Minerva was conducting experiments to genetically engineer humans into human Kree hybrids and give them powers. Thanks to the trauma she experienced because of Nuclear Man, she volunteered and she was the only survivor of the experiment. While she was a hybrid, she didn't actually get powers, so Minerva wanted to keep her promise and siphon Carol's powers, stealing them to give to Ryan. The Kraken that Carol fought in the very first issue of this volume of Captain Marvel contained a virus that formed a device on Carol's heart that allowed Minerva to siphon her powers. Riley had a similar device placed inside of her body too. Gotta love Kree technology. And at number 6, villain. When Star first hit the scene, she was favored much more by the public than Carol was. Star would later find out that Minerva was actually trying to recruit Carol to her cause, and became jealous. She nearly killed Minerva because of this, practically leaving her for dead and writing a message in Minerva's own blood. "You're not as smart as you think you are." Carol rescued Minerva after the fact, who told her what happened. Here's the turning point, when Ripley went from being a hero with legions of admirers to a straight up villain. Her and Carol fought and she attempted to kill Captain Marvel. Then she tried to siphon the people of New York's life forces to give herself power when she couldn't siphon any more from Carol. Failing to do so, she would find herself locked up in the Raft, the supervillain prison. Ripley managed to escape, but we will get to how in just a sec. Up next, number 5, the solo spin-off series. Ripley now has her very own spin-off comic, a 4-part miniseries that follows her story after her appearance in Captain Marvel. Written by Kelly Thompson, who pens Captain Marvel's series as well, as we mentioned, the solo series dives much further into Star's character, describing Ryan as, I quote, "an extremely relatable character who has been twisted by the trauma she experienced from Nuclear Man in the first arc, and now she's driven by fear, by the need to never be a victim again." And at number 4, she merged with the Reality Stone. So in the aftermath of her battle with Carol in the Captain Marvel series, Ripley was mysteriously merged with the Reality Stone. So after Carol defeated Ripley, she made the choice to rip the device out of Star's chest that was siphoning power, leaving a gaping hole in her body that would normally kill a regular human being. Obviously it's a giant hole where her heart is. Afterwards, in Captain Marvel Volume 10 Issue 11, is revealed when Ripley is at the raft that she's doing much better physically than she looked after her fight with Carol. She's alive and well, and is aware that she has the Reality Stone within her body. She uses it to escape the raft. The thing is, despite being bonded to the Reality Stone, Ripley has no idea how to use it, how it got there, or how to control it. It also places a major target on her back thanks to it being an Infinity Stone. It's one of the hottest and sought after commodities in the Marvel Universe. Moving on to number 3, she vaporized Loki. Yeah, that is no easy feat. Let's backtrack a sec. So at the start of her series, she's stewing over the losses that she's faced at a villain bar, which exists, which is kinda cool, in which villain Titania picks a fight with her, but the reality stone actually allows her to avoid getting seriously hurt. She is knocked out of the bar though with one of Titania's punches, and is out cold. She then awakes to find Loki trying to extract the reality stone from her body. Star uses the stone against him to, I quote, "go away permanently," and vaporizes the trickster god right then and there. Technically though, this was not the real Loki, it's implied that it was a duplicate of his. Moving on to number 2, Jessica Jones beat her up. After this encounter with Loki, Ripley wanted to figure out what was going on. So when she was kidnapped, for the second time after the bar, she woke up with Loki trying to extract the stone from her body, as we mentioned, but she had also been taken away from the bar when she was unconscious by a mysterious figure. Now Ripley believes there is a greater scheme working against her, and she wanted to know who was hunting her, so she tries to get Jessica Jones to help investigate. Thing is, Jessica is a good pal of Carol's, and was privy to what had just happened. And while Ripley is able to use the stone to some capacity to have Jessica help her, Jess is still able to remain clear-headed and beats the crap out of Ripley. Ripley is able to use the stone to defeat her though. And finally, in at number 1, Scarlet Witch may be an ally. So after Star manages to take Jessica down using the reality stone, she finds herself face to face with another hero in the Marvel Universe, Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, who declares that she's screwing everything up. Considering that Wanda is the master of manipulating reality, with that being at the core of her own powers, it's safe to assume that she'll be playing a significant role in Star's solo series, perhaps teaching the young superhero how to control the reality stone within her body. Needless to say, her series seems to be stacked with a really fantastic cast of Marvel female superheroes, and we're super excited to see where Star's journeys with Scarlet Witch may be headed. Alright, there we have it friends. Are you excited for the rest of Star's solo series? Give us a shout in those comments below and let us know your thoughts and feels. If you dug this video, you guys know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button, share it with a friend, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for more videos just like this. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Catch you later, friends.